Hey there, everybody. I'm back. Wait 1 second. There's a piece of paper on the floor. Let me throw that away. Happy November 1st, everyone. Can you believe it? We only have 2 months of 2025 left to go. Pretty insane. Well, I better go and rule out the diet update today. So let's do that. Today, I weighed 154.4 pounds, down 2 pounds from yesterday. A little over 2 pounds, actually. That's pretty dang good, and that's the lowest I've weighed in a really long time. I'm hoping to get to 145 before next cheat day, and if I can't, then I'll probably make it to 145 very soon afterwards. Well, what was eaten today? In the morning, I had 3 Ray bars, the little bite-sized ones from Chalk Zero, and 3 Chalk Zero peanut butter cups, both sweetened with monk fruit. Then, after that, I attempted to make a cottage cheese pizza once again. This time, I decided to put the cottage cheese and the egg together in a food processor, and I blended until smooth with a mixture of different herbs and spices and seasonings like salt and pepper and garlic powder. I poured that on a prepared parchment paper that had cooking spray on it, and then I cooked that in the oven for like 30 minutes before taking it out and then putting on sauce, marinara sauce. What was that called again? Mozzarella cheese, grated, that I grated myself, freshly grated, and turkey pepperoni. So that's what I ate this morning. Overall, I would say I liked it better than the last one, for sure. I feel like it definitely tasted more eggy this time around, if that makes sense. Like it tasted like, you know how when an egg like gets cooked on like a pan and like there are parts of the egg that kind of harden and get all crispified? It was kind of like that. It wasn't like super eggy tasting. It was a bit of a neutral flavor, but the texture was waking me out a little bit. It's kind of hard to describe, but sort of soft, I suppose. But I did like it better than the cloud bread that I had before, which I thought was just too wet and mushy in the middle. And yeah, not very appealing. This one was better, for sure. Then, for lunch today, I ate a cottage cheese pizza bowl. Yes, I had another pizza dish today. This one had half a cup of cottage cheese, half, about 1/4 of a cup of marinara sauce, freshly grated mozzarella cheese on top, and the last of my turkey bacon that I had, and some basil leaves thrown in as a garnish. Overall, this one, I would say, it pretty much was. It tasted like a pizza in a bowl with no crust, is the best way I could describe it. It certainly had a more of a just I'm eating a pizza in a bowl taste than the previous ones, which were like tempting to be pizza, but you can tell if you're paying attention to it that something's off about it. But this one, like, it just tastes like you threw all the toppings in a bowl on top of a clump of cottage cheese and threw it in the microwave and ate it, which I guess is literally what it is. It's not bad. I'd probably eat it again. And then my mom gave me a yogurt dish, a small one, not a big one, because I didn't want too much after eating that. That included Greek yogurt with lime squeeze and some monk fruit to sweeten it, and a special blend of different nuts and seeds and cinnamon. Pretty good. I liked it. Then I decided to take this keto toast, this new one we got, that was a multi-seed toast, and I threw it in the toaster, and when it came out, I put some butter on that I microwaved for like 15 seconds, and I put a bit of monk fruit and cinnamon sprinkled on top. And I had that, and I have to say that was actually quite good. But my problem was that I put the monk fruit and the cinnamon in a bowl. I mixed it up before sprinkling it on the toast, and I could have totally saved that for later, but I had the brilliant idea of putting it in my cup of coffee that I was having at the time, and then some half and half, and mixing all that together. And let's just say don't have too much monk fruit in one sitting, otherwise you're gonna get the bubba guts, as I was about to find out a little later today. Well, after I was done eating that, what was the last thing I ate today? Last thing I ate was one more Ray bite-sized candy bar. They're about this big. And then I took my vitamins and brushed my teeth, and that's pretty much what I ate. Any exercise? Pretty much just walking and running around the store helping customers out, pushing carts. That's all there is to it. Alright, well, now that we're done with the diet update, let's move on to the daily update. So, when I woke up this morning, I decided to get 3 Ray candy bars and 3 peanut butter cups and a cup of coffee, and I went out into the den and I decided to watch a new Hats Off Entertainment video. If you don't know, Hats Off Entertainment is a YouTube channel that talks about comedy-centric movies, and I find his commentary to be very funny and very cleverly edited. I mean, the commentary itself, he's basically just talking about the movie and the people who made it, but the way he edits the videos by intercutting movie clips that are supposed to heighten his points is what makes it funny. And the examples he gives of all the comedic films he's talking about is also pretty funny too. And you get educated about these films that you wouldn't have been educated about before. So that's cool too. He was talking about a John Hughes 1994 movie called Baby's Day Out. And this movie just looked really dumb and ridiculous. It was about like a little baby that goes on a big adventure, and there's like 3 like men who are trying to like get the baby and like sell like a ransom on him so they can get the fortune of like a really rich family. So that's pretty much the story, and it's basically like Home Alone, but if Home Alone had 3 thieves, and if the kid in the movie was a baby instead. That's pretty much what the movie is, and it's just it went too far. It looked like it was just way too dumb and way too silly. But yeah, after I was done watching that, I was getting pretty hungry, So I decided to have a go at the cottage cheese pizza again. Since I watched all those recipes last night, I thought I'd give it a try. Um, as I was making the food, I was cleaning up as I was going along. My sister got up, asked me what I was doing, and I said I was making the cottage cheese pizza crust, and she said, "Ooh, I want to try some after you're done." So it was like, all right. So, after a while, I had it ready to go, but right when I finished making it, I wanted to take a picture of it, and then I wanted to film myself reviewing it. But before I did, I asked my sister if she would be interested in trying it and if she would like to film me reviewing my pizza, and she said, sure, I'm down with that. So she filmed me reviewing the pizza, and yeah, basically what I said was it's definitely like a flatbread, but the texture is a little strange. It's kind of soft, but at the same time has slightly crispy like outer shell at the edges. It's kind of a throw off sort of texture, but if you can accept it while eating the pizza, then it would probably be just fine. I feel like if you just manage to crispify the entire crust and have no soft part in it, it would probably be a viable option for keto pizza crust, I would say. My sister tried too, and she seemed to think it was good for if you're like on a low carb, high protein diet. I guess technically I am. So that's good to know. She's not on any diet right now, but she wanted to give her opinion on that. Well, after that, oh, and I almost forgot to mention at the beginning of the day, I did throw a load of clothes in the wash, and then I threw it in the dryer. I then decided to take a shower. So I took a shower for like 15 minutes, got out, got dressed, left. I wanted to say goodbye to my sister, but I couldn't find her and I needed to leave, so I left. When I got to work, first hour was spent on lot. And man, it was a busy day today. There was just cars everywhere. There was so much going on. It was pretty bananas, not gonna lie. Not that I'm complaining. I do enjoy, constantly being busy, but at the same time, it was difficult to find a parking spot. But I guess having work is definitely not a bad problem to have. So, yeah, so the first hour was spent doing the lawn and then, bringing carts in, offering customers cards if they wanted them. Then the next 3 hours was spent doing front end backing work. That went along pretty smoothly. Anything too interesting happen? I can't really think of anything, honestly. I did ask for my first break, and I did do some breathing exercises with the Breath with Sandy as my guide. Cosmic Energy is the YouTube video I was following. But yeah. Then the next 2 hours spent doing oh right. No, wait. Yeah, the last hour was spent doing sweeps before lunch. Sweeped the produce area and sweeped the entirety of the store. So yeah, it was good. Then I was asked, hey, do you want to stay an extra hour because all of our people who would have closed called off, and I said, sure, I'll do it. I do need some extra cash. So I knew I was going to be staying for an additional hour at work today. So eventually I punched out for lunch and I left for home. When I got home, my mom was there. I greeted her. And then I made my cottage cheese protein packed pizza bowl, and I had that. As I was making it, my mom was singing the Pizza Nuggets song, um, which was interesting. And then, as I was eating it, she suggested we should watch a video about the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland, Florida, or so Disney World. There's like a little behind the scenes video about it on YouTube she wanted to show me. I was like, sure, I'm down with that. So after I was done eating the cottage cheese pizza, she made me a yogurt and cinnamon nut dish. So I had that, and we both went in the den and watched this behind the scenes. It was pretty cool, pretty insightful. One of my most favorite things about it was the fish tank. They were able to get like just fish bones looking like they're naturally swimming in the fish tank. This looks like a little lounge, like adult drinkery area that they designed in the park. And it's pretty cool. I really dig it for sure. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, apparently there was like an old woman who met Walt Disney himself who designed like the walls of the Haunted Mansion, and she was being interviewed. So that was cool to see, like living history. And then I decided to make a keto cinnamon toast with monk fruit, and that was pretty good. But I had a whole lot of cinnamon and monk fruit left, so I dumped it into a cup of coffee with some half and half, and I had that. And then I said goodbye to my mom and my sister, and I left. My last 4 hours of work, pretty much, I was like the only one there in terms of like a front end worker, at least for the last like 2 hours of the day. And I spent that time taking out the trash, refilling the bags, clearing the lot, bringing 18 carts in with the signs, closing the produce blinds, and wiping down 3 check stands. Before I was asked to go, so I left. And yeah, afterwards, I eventually arrived home. I was greeted by my mom. I told her I would write her the checks for living expenses today and for the month, and so I did that. Then I took my vitamins, I brushed my teeth, and recorded this video. So that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. What are 3 things that I'm most grateful for about today? I'm grateful I decided to give the cottage cheese pizza 2 more tries. One with the crust and one with the pizza in a bowl. I thought both were okay, but I think if I were to do it next time, I would probably use a better binding agent for the dough, like probably like oat fiber or I don't know, almond flour or something like that. So that way, not only will have protein, but it will have a better way of forming when being cooked. So that would be an interesting thing to try out. I'm also grateful for having a place to live. That's something that I really enjoy. So that's great. I like that. And I am also grateful that I was able to get an extra hour of work today. So I could get a little extra income coming in. So that's pretty much my day, and I'm going to now get ready for bed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody, and have a good night.